Hi, I'm Morgan.
I'm Harrison.
We are traveling the world for 6 months, and we are currently a month into our big adventure. We've done a little bit of traveling before, and throughout all of our travels, I gotta say, we've been pretty lucky. Nothing that bad has really happened. Nothing enough to worry
If
about.
there was anything bad, it was such a quick fix. It's like not even affecting us at all.
This was a little different. This was something bad. Obviously, things happen. We're not, complaining. I mean, a little bit we are complaining, but
we're not.
We understand it's not the worst thing in the world.
Exactly. Things are going to happen, and there are ways that you can avoid it, and there's certain things that you just can't prepare for. And this is something that I feel like that we could have prepared for a little better. Maybe.
I don't think it was our fault, but I think, we have ways that you could avoid this happening, so you don't have to miss a day of travel, you don't have to waste your money or your time. But yeah, let's get into what happened.
So the day started out pretty good, and then it all went downhill when this started to happen.
We are in the midst of a 19-hour travel day because our bus literally drove right by us and didn't stop. We had to leave our Airbnb at 11 a.m. and we were waiting for our bus for 4 hours because it was supposed to come at 3, and we were very prepared. We were ready for it to come, and it drove literally right past us. And we waved at it, they waved back, and they kept on driving. And the bus company admitted to us, they admitted that happened. So it wasn't, they were like, yeah, that happened, here's a refund. Which doesn't make up for the fact that we have a night of accommodation that we paid for that we're not able to use because we're not going to get there till tomorrow morning. So, So we get to sit on this stoop for hours and hours just waiting for the next bus and hoping that it will actually stop for us. We don't know if it will stop, and we weren't able to buy tickets ahead of time because we printed the last tickets and made sure they were all ready, but we can't do it for these tickets because we don't have a printer or like a computer or anything.
Or a place to stay.
Yeah, or a place to stay to do that. So hopefully they let us on the next bus if they decide to stop, which I don't know if they will. But if they do, then it's a 6-hour drive all through the night to the next place.
So we got to a point where we had a few options. I tried talking to 2 different ticket sales concessions, and one of them was just for a local bus, so they didn't venture outside of the town we were staying in. And the other one was Croatia bus, but their bus for Split had already left for that day. So I tried figuring out like what we could do to try to get to Split faster, and my solution for it was to try and go to Zadar. So Zadar is like a bigger town that's about halfway between where we were and where Split was. If we could get a bus there, and it being a bigger station and a bigger city, the chances of there being a bus to Split were much higher. So that's what we decided to do. We tried to do that, but so we waited for the bus to come for Zadar, but we couldn't buy tickets beforehand because you need to have 24 hours notice in order to buy tickets online. And the ticket stand that I had asked her about wasn't selling those tickets. It was a different bus company. So when the bus pulled up and we asked him if we could buy tickets, he ultimately told us no. And that's only because the bus was already full. You could only go on if you had bought tickets previously, and so we were kind of stuck there. So we had no choice but to sit there until 11:20 at night and wait for that other bus to come.
Yeah, our second option we were really hoping for wasn't working out. So yeah, we knew at that point we just gotta wait it out.
So right now it is about 10:50. Just to make sure that we don't miss our bus, I'm sitting on this side of the street and we got Morgan sitting on that side. So we're just gonna run out in front of the bus to make sure it doesn't go by us.
So our bus did finally come, but not without its own worries. It actually came 20 minutes late, and online there is a bus tracker. There's a live view on Get by Bus showing you where your bus is, and the online tracker said that our bus had left, had come and gone. So it was 20 minutes late, and online it said it had already come and gone, even though we hadn't seen it. So we're thinking the bus just didn't stop
We missed
again.
it somehow.
Yeah, and we were just waiting there. No buses had gone by. So, we were ready to, I don't know, stake it out, buy some taxi service or something, just wait all night again. But it did come. Thankfully, we waited the 20 minutes. It was very nerve-wracking, though. But there are a few things we could have done to cover our bases.
First thing I think we should talk about actually is about what Get by Bus is and why we had that problem. So Get by Bus kind of works like StubHub, where they take a ton of different people who sell tickets and they congregate them, and not really people, like companies who sell tickets, and they congregate them onto one website. So Get by Bus sells tickets at particular locations that buses are going by, but the bus companies themselves aren't scheduled to stop there, and Get by Bus needs to communicate to that bus company that, hey, we sold a ticket in this small town, you need to stop because we sold tickets there. And that's ultimately why they didn't stop, is because that communication didn't happen. And so when we're waving the guy down and he's just kind of shrugs and goes, I don't know why you're waving at me, that was why. It was because Get by Bus didn't tell him to stop, and he's not scheduled to stop there, so he's not going to stop there for no reason.
This is what we understand anyway from what we were told by customer service.
Right, exactly. I think something else to mention too is Get by Bus did give us a refund. But when
Although we haven't checked yet, to be sure.
We hadn't. No, they told us it was going to take.
True, it told us it might take a while.
Take 2 weeks worth of business days. We asked them about accommodation charges too, because we missed out on a night of Airbnb. We didn't sleep. We just got there and were able to drop our stuff off. But that was at 6:30 the next morning.
It was a waste of money.
And they told us to contact the actual company,
which was Verajden. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, we'll put the name up here.
They didn't respond to me. I emailed them because Get by Bus told me, we done all that we can do. We can only give you a refund. At this point, you need to contact the actual bus company. That didn't stop. So I did. I emailed them. They didn't get back to me. So thanks, Verajden.
Yeah, so that was something that kind of irked us a little bit. But I guess there were some things that we could have done that would have prevented this from happening if we were extra prepared, I'd like to put it as, but...
Although I do want to say, if the bus company's listening, it's not our fault that this happened.
Right, exactly.
But these are things that it could prevent, an extra layer of protection.
Instead of wearing 2 safety clips, we should have worn 6 because of the situation, is how we're putting it.
Yeah. This is something, if you are traveling, definitely something to think about. Maybe even if you're not traveling in your own country, I don't know, buses might not be well in America, wherever you are. So it's always good just to be sure that you're going to get to where you want to get. And these are some things that we have for you. The first one is to buy a bus ticket early, leave early. This was actually kind of my fault because we had to check out of our Airbnb at 11 and the bus didn't come till 3. And so we had to just wait for a few hours.
Something you even a video, she just wasn't thinking. She was like, oh, we could sleep in, and we just realized, oh crap, there's a checkout time.
Yeah.
So we took that later bus. There was a bus at 1, and there was one I think at 11:30. But we decided, we were just like, oh, we'll just take the closer to the last one because we just wanted to sleep in.
In my head, I was thinking, well, relax, we don't have to get up early, but not realizing there's checkout time. There's not always checkout times for Airbnb. Our other Airbnbs have been more lax, and there actually wasn't a checkout time, so planning for 6 months of travel sometimes be a slip up. But yeah, definitely try to get there early because, like he said, there were earlier ones, and if we missed the 11:30, we could have gotten the 12 or whatever. And instead, we hit the last one until 11:20 at night. So just get there early. It's worth it.
So another thing you could do is if you are using a service like Get By Bus, and what we actually did for the second bus, so the one that came at 11:20, is we ended up contacting them and asking them to make sure that they're actually telling that bus company to stop, and to confirm with us that they received the message. So that's something we had them do just because we didn't want we didn't want to miss our bus and have to literally sleep on the street that night. So.
Be sure, this is a simple one and I think most people do this anyway, but just be sure to confirm with your bus driver that you're on the right bus. We almost got on a wrong bus again at like 11 at night because it just seemed like they were going the right way and they didn't really talk to us, but we really confirmed, is this going to split? And then they told us no. So just be sure, and in fact we actually talked to a woman 2 days ago who went on the wrong boat because she didn't confirm where they were going and she had to like jump off the boat right before they left. So just make double sure with whoever's driving that this is in fact the right bus or boat, whatever.
Something that you could also do too is to take photos of yourself waiting at the bus station with timestamps. That's something that us being like stupid vloggers is something we did that kind of gave us evidence to tell them, hey, we're here. Like,
it helped. It helped because it proved to the customer service lady that we were at the bus station, and without it, I don't know, she didn't take it seriously until I sent those photos. So it's definitely good to have. In this day and age, most people have cell phones. Just take the picture. You can delete it if you don't need it. But.
Right. So if you do find yourself in the same situation that we did, obviously just contact the customer service. Just kind of don't be angry with them is what I would suggest. I think just working in customer service myself in different like restaurants and retail and all that baloney, it's just so much nicer to deal with people who are not freaking out at you. Like if someone was yelling at me, I'd just be like, I'm just gonna leave them stuck in that situation.
Yeah, and it's usually not that particular customer service representative. It's not their fault usually.
Right.
They're just trying to make the best of the situation, and if you're a reasonable person, they'll be reasonable back.
Exactly.
But definitely what I want to say is don't just like, oh, money lost, oh well. Do something about it. You should contact them, because why waste your money? You know, you can get the refund. I feel like a lot of times people are, I don't know, maybe they just want to forget about the situation and move on, or maybe they feel like nothing's going to happen. But you need to tell the company this. You should try to get your money back, and usually you will at least get a refund. Unfortunately, we didn't get refunded for the money lost on our Airbnb, but we got our bus ticket money back. And either way, the company should know that they're failing at this, because most likely you're not the only one who's having to deal with a situation like this. So either way, they should know. So definitely tell them.
Something else too, make sure that you have some sort of internet, because we were very fortunate that there was Wi-Fi around. It was free and didn't have a password.
We were very lucky that there just happened to be Wi-Fi, because we didn't have a SIM card.
Cards. So it was, if we didn't have that, we would have been like kind of screwed. Like,
we would have probably had to find a SIM card and buy it that day.
Right, exactly. Which in that small town, I don't know if there was any. It was a really small town, so it was like, it was a big risk we took, and we got really lucky with it.
Yeah, I haven't seen free Wi-Fi in the last few times or cities we've been to. So.
Yeah. We even went walking last night for a few hours and couldn't find any.
Yeah.
But, anyway, that just about sums up our first
really bad.
Yeah, really bad travel experience.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's like we said, it's not the end of the world. But just having that extra level of protection, I guess, can really help you.
If you've been in a situation like this, or if you know any other information that maybe we didn't cover, and maybe that you feel like would be good advice, let us know. Just say it in the comments.
Yeah, we'd want to know too, to prevent, I mean, we still have 5 more months of travel, so we want to know your tips
we're
for
always,
sure.
We're always learning. If you did learn something, give us a like, and if
Just hit subscribe. Come
Just
on,
say
I don't
yeah.
even have 400 subscribers yet. Just hit subscribe, please. I need it.
We're getting there. We're almost at where
We get a new subscriber like every 3 days. So
and then we lose like one
Yeah.
every like week.
so
So
just please hit subscribe.
we're getting there.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.